That was getting a little dicey, you guys. I was pushing a lot of buttons, getting everything all ready. As you guys know, I have not been doing a live stream of crypto news with Julie Kennis on Fridays. But this Friday, I am here. I am back. My beautiful co-host for the Julie and Joxie show is not feeling well. She's not feeling well. This morning, I think she posted that she was laying on the dog bed in the bathroom. So, we were going to go to ETH Denver, you guys. I would be sharing a hotel room with her this very moment. Oh my gosh, I am so happy that she's at home in her comfy space and not having to figure out how she's going to navigate the airport while feeling like absolute horse poo-poo. So, how are we feeling in the markets today, you guys? Welcome back to a Friday edition of Crypto News with Julie Kennis. I'm your host, Julie Kennis. As always, this show is powered by the Gokhshtein News Network, sponsored by Market Cypher. We're going to be pulling up some Market Cypher tools. Looks like things are flowing in the green on a Friday. Friday's love to bull trap. Shout out to everyone here in the chat. Mike Fulmer, you were number one. Chipper, hello. Usually hits me on all sides. Let's see. You did. You did not. But I do have Black Hat Team and Crypto Princess. You guys go subscribe to Crypto Princess. She is a fellow YouTuber. She is so knowledgeable, is always doing her research, has really good guests, is very thorough, will give you background and timelines. She gives you things in context. She's so smart. Go give her a follow. But yes, Blocky has some exciting things going on. Blocky, congratulations, your grandbaby's coming. That's crazy. That's crazy. Super exciting times. Is Joxie in here? Is Joxie in here? Or are we just talking about her? We're just talking about her. I'm rolling through. I think I'm all caught up. Oh man, hello. Blocky does have news. Hello, Gaming Tito brothers. Gaming Tito. Is that you guys? Hello. Hello to the gaming brothers. Do you guys do any crypto gaming by any chance? Joxie does do some gaming. I don't know what game she's playing right now. It's not a crypto game. I know that. And so I'm sad I didn't get to do crypto or to do the Julie and Joxie show today. We will be back next week, next Friday at 10 a.m. Pacific time. So, but if you're new here, smash a subscribe. I am live every day talking about crypto news at 1 p.m. Pacific time. So here we are. Blocky getting to be all fancy. We love that. We love that. It's W's in the chat. I like that on a Friday. The charts are green. Things are looking lovely. Looking lovely. I still think it's a bit of a bear trap right now. So, but let's go ahead and dive right into the crypto charts. All right, you guys, here we are. We are on a 1 hour Bitcoin chart right now. We are currently trading at 67,000. You can see that we have flipped into the green with money flow looking positive. Will it be sustained? Will it last? Let's zoom in here. We'll zoom in on a 5-minute and just kind of see what we're looking like. Yeah, still looking a little green. We're in a sideways trend here though, you guys. A sideways trend. So I did put in the title today. I was thinking of you, Mike Volmer. Actually, let me go ahead. I know I'm moving on with the show and I'm going to be listening to music. I won't be able to see the chat, so I need to pull up the chat. Hold on. No, it's pulling myself up on the wrong way. I don't want to pull myself up the wrong way, you guys. Let's pull it up the right way. We got it. Oh my gosh, only 3 likes, you guys. Go ahead and smash a like. Smash a like. Smash a like. Send it out to friends. Send it out to friends. Hello, John Legend. Welcome in. So yes, we're looking positive right now. Money flow is in the green. But we are sitting just sideways trend. And I think, again, guys, this is a bear trap for Bitcoin. So I don't think we will continue up. I think we will continue down on Monday. So be careful. On Fridays, though, people get paid and they like to put money in. Oh, thank you, Paul, man. You call them out. Call out the slackers in the chat. All right. So Ethereum, it's trading sideways like everything else at 1972. Solana, it is up about 3% on the daily, though. We were at $81 yesterday. It's looking at $84.64 right now. Chainlink trading at just a hair under $9, so we're up about 30 cents from yesterday. But one of our biggest gainers, bigger gainers, we like the bigger gainers, right? Is Binance, which was sitting around 606, 603, currently trading at 629. And XRP, I added that into the mix for you, Mr. Mike Vollmer, the Mod King. So yes, because it is up. It is up. So we're trading at just $1.42. So we're going to talk about that today. And SWI is trading at 95 cents, up from 92 from yesterday. All right, you guys, let's go ahead and move on and take a look at the crypto bubbles, because it is just beautiful and green across the top 100 on the board. So things are looking nice. Things are looking nice. Things are looking nice. It's looking a heck of a lot nicer than Joxie. Joxie's over here like this.
Ah! Ah!
Really happy we're not at ETH Denver right now. You guys, if we were like having to ride back and like, or like just me being in the room, and you know how it is, like in a hotel room where you're like sharing everything, all the germs, and then we had like a whole plan for her to come down on the train and us to fly out together. The Lord works in mysterious ways, you guys. That's what I was saying in my group chat this morning. So I'm looking snuggly, you guys. I'm going to a hockey game tonight. So I wanted to dress warm enough for this evening and being kind of like close to the ice. I love hockey though. I've gone to hockey games most of my life. Our team is like a B grade league, but it's like a really good team. They're owned by the Edmonton Oilers. I think it's the Edmonton Oilers that own our team, or the Condors, but they're a really good team. And you know, we pulled probably around 5,000 or 6,000, maybe 3,000 on a low night, but you know, a fairly decent crowd. The people get hyped. The people drink the beers. They have the good times. So I'm probably going to be designated driver tonight. I love it though. You guys, I love it though, because then I get to be the sober one and I get to see, witness everything, be the all knower of things the next morning. I get to remind people the things they said, the things they forgot. It's my favorite part of being sober. Anyways, let's go ahead and move into the breaking news. I'm going to push all the buttons fast enough, you guys. Hang on. Add it to the stage. Add it to the stage. All right. Goldman Sachs, Franklin Templeton, and Nicki Minaj inside Trump's surreal Mar-a-Lago crypto summit. You guys, it's interesting. They're calling it a crypto summit, but let's break it down. Let's talk about what happened there. So crypto, real estate, and politics collided at Trump's Mar-a-Lago club as insiders debated tokenization and regulation. So, in Palm Beach, attending World Liberty Financial's forum at Mar-a-Lago felt less like a high-powered summit and more like an intimate gathering. If the guest list included people who controlled trillions in assets and the future of finance. Tucked beneath chandeliers and gold-painted trim, the guest list read like a who's who of the industry's old guard and rising disruptors. So there were no name tags needed. Everyone seemed to know everyone. All right, so let's break it down. So it was weird because we had people like Nicki Minaj there. There were people from TradFi. We had CZ from Binance was there. As you guys know, There's a little bit of weirdness going on there. So, punitive finance. In other contexts, the event would seem like a typical crypto conference. Speakers from traditional finance backgrounds explaining how they're using blockchain or why they're discussing crypto to a dimly lit room. However, the backdrop loomed. This was a conference put on by World Liberty Financial, the crypto company that launched and owned in part by the family of US President Donald Trump, held at his Mar-a-Lago estate. So even though CZ was there, you guys know he received the pardon from Trump. And Goldman Sachs, David Solomon, joked on stage that he was there because his client had requested his presence. So many of the panels themselves were high-level World Liberty Financial co-founder Alex Witkoff and U.S. Senator Ashley Moody walked the audience through her background, and Eric Trump and Donald Trump reiterating their past grievances with the banks. As you guys know, they were debanked. That was why they became proponents of the cryptocurrency industry. And it really just showed that there were flaws in the future of finance and the way finance is currently operating. So, it went on. I'm going to see if they actually lay out and hear what actually happened. Amid these sessions, some speakers walked through their arguments for the digital assets sector. Franklin Templeton CEO Jenny Johnson laid out the rationale for the US dollar remaining the global reserve currency. Of course, we all know that that's why it's needed. They want to have a digital dollar, and they want to make it easy for anyone, anywhere, to have a US dollar in their pocket. So about 50% of the trade today is done in US dollars. The other 30% is done in euros, but there is no single European debt market. They can't even coordinate around the euro, so that's not even going to be the next reserve. So China or India are contenders, but neither are free floating. So that makes it unlikely that either of those currencies can take the role, she said. So this to me just feels like it's a lot of local people that are trying to come together. But more than anything, okay, here we go. Glamour and celebrities. Oh, wait, hold on. It wouldn't have been a Trump gathering without the biggest real estate moguls in the room. That's when tokenization, or the real world assets, came up, which, as we talked about yesterday, they're going to tokenize one of the Trump properties in the Maldives. So, but okay, glamour and celebrities, from Kevin O'Leary to Goldman Sachs to the FIFA president. There was all kinds of people. Nicki Minaj actually closed out the event as a final panelist. So everyone got to close it out with Nicki Minaj. So it does not say what actually occurred, which is the fact that World Liberty debuted their app. So they now have an app that they have come out with. I'm sure this is the in-app lending capabilities that they're wanting to have. I'm sure they're wanting to sort of act as a digital bank at this point. So they have their own USD1, so their own stable coin, plus they have the World Liberty Finance token. And as you guys know, that was trading around 11 cents. Let's go ahead and pull it up and see what it's trading at today. Wilfie is still trading around 11 cents. Still trading around 11 cents. So, and it's kind of holding strong because as we said, the people who bought in on that purchased in at 5 cents. So even though there was a sell-off after the people all came back, and there was a sell-off from the people that bought in at 5 cents. But then, there it is. Blocky, you do not have to apologize. We know you have a lot going on. It's like the most exciting thing ever. You have like a deadline for your grandbaby to arrive. I think he said 8 p.m. his time, which would be a couple of hours ahead of me. So that means like, I don't know, what is she getting scheduled for, like a C-section at 8 p.m.? Then you're going to have a baby here like tonight, like by like 9 p.m., which is just in a few hours for you. So that's crazy. So yeah, you need to like get your family together and get to the hospital soon. Because that's like fun. That's like super exciting. You guys, I've never told you my story. I had a baby when I lived in Australia, and my husband at the time, I was trying to go natural because I'm crazy like that, right? And in Australia, they give you laughing gas. So, and then they gave me control of the laughing gas. So I have this canister of laughing gas, and they tell me how to use it. Whenever you feel the pain come on, you start hitting this canister, and then you just breathe through the contraction, and you're going to feel great, right? So I was a scheduled induction going natural though. So I'm here with my canister, and I'm like just hitting it every time the pain comes. And then even in between, I'm like hitting it and laughing, and like, I can't even believe they just let you do that. Like, the nurses really left me alone with an unlimited supply of laughing gas, which was like wild. Which was wild to me. So, I can't remember what happened. I think I ended up, like, the pain got so intense after like 10 hours. They gave me a shot of morphine, and I was like, and after they gave me the shot of morphine, you guys, I still had my laughing gas canister. So now I'm like, dude, I'm like jacked up now, right? I'm like feeling all warm and fuzzy in my hospital bed. I can hit my gas when I want. Started to like fall asleep. And my husband was like, we had been there for a while. We'd been in the hospital for a while because I was being monitored. He was like, I'm going to go home and shower. He freaking goes home and showers. He leaves me. And when he left, I dropped my canister of laughing gas, the little like plastic mouthpiece that you hold up to your mouth. I dropped it on the ground. And I was like, oh no, I need to get it. And I'm like in this big ass room in Australia all by myself because the baby was coming early. My mom had planned to fly out there, but she wasn't coming for like another week because I had still had like 3 weeks and some change left in my full 40 weeks. So, but then they were like, oh, there's problems, get you to the hospital, monitor you. So anyway, I'm there alone in the room. The gas is on the ground. I'm like, I'm going to pick it up. So I bend over to get it. And the morphine was so strong that I like sat up. I was like, whoa. And the whole room was spinning. I was like, oh my God, I'm going to barf. And then I just all over myself. And I'm like, oh my God, this is awful. So I go over and I press the call button like, nurse, I need help. I'm like covered. And they come in and they like get me a new gown, help clean me up, get me all back in. And I'm like settled down. And I'm like, okay, all is well again. New gown, bed's clean, I'm clean. Back with my laughing gas. Room's not spinning anymore. Morphine's kind of wearing off a little bit now. Anyway, I ended up, after that, feeling so much pain, I had to get an epidural. I called my ex. I'm like, get your ass back here. You're going to miss your daughter being born. And he came in like, right at the end, like last, I don't know, freaking 30 minutes to spare. We were in Sydney, and the traffic in Sydney is absolutely insane. Absolutely insane. So can you imagine? I would never let him live that down either. Like, you left your wife in active labor in a country all by herself, no friends, no family. I was there by myself. So anyway, you need to go be there for her, support her, bring her flowers, all the wonderful things, shower her with love, because it's like a whole crazy experience. But it was amazing. Look, I did it again. It was awesome. And babies are amazing. Like, I would totally do it again, but I'm getting too old, so I can't anymore. So I just tell myself I'm too old. I can't. So anyway, that is my story. We will get back into it now. But I thought it was funny how in Australia, it's such a holistic and natural country, but at the same time, I had like unlimited laughing gas, morphine shot, epidural. I mean, like I was turned up by the end of it. I Like, and then I was like paralyzed from the legs down because like they had just given me the epidural and like it all happened so fast. Like they tried to tell me to stand up. I was like paralyzed. I'm like, I can't stand right now. Just let me sit here for a minute, okay? So then the next one I did natural, and I did it all natural. They did give me a morphine shot, but other than that, I was natural. And that was crazy, so yeah. But Australia, man, you have a baby there. Like, whatever you want, you tell them. I'm in pain, freaking jack you up. All right, that is what universal health coverage gets you in another country. So I tend to lean on, although I am conservative, I would love to see us find a way to have healthcare reform. And I feel like universal healthcare would be a way to strip away privatized healthcare. Privatized healthcare is just bleeding. It's bleeding us dry. So you need to find a way to put the government in there, make the government compete with privatized health. So if you can get the government in there and offer something at half the price, then make it to where private insurance is an option. Everybody can have universal, but private is an option. If you want to pay for a higher level of health coverage, you should be able to. So that's a whole other rabbit hole. My favorite president, or not president because he didn't win, was Ron Paul. He was an actual doctor, and he was a Republican proponent of universal health care. And I believe if he would have been president, we would have found a way to make it work. Instead, we're stuck with Obamacare. We're paying premiums. Like families are paying like $25,000 a year for like a family of 4 or 5 is crazy. So let's get back into the breaking news. I'm glad you like that story, John Legend. Sometimes stories like that, they're so weird and girly. I don't know if I should share them, but I mean, I barfed all over myself and I was high on all kinds of crazy drugs. It was kind of fun. It's actually like my story of my black eye on the golf cart. It is one of my favorite stories, is that how effed up Australia let me get. And then like at the end, I was in the hospital for a week, and my bill at the end of all of that, not being from a Queen's country, because if you were from Canada or the UK or all these other countries, New Zealand, you were free. Babies, all the hospital bills free. But me as an American, not having any skin in the game, my whole bill was like $4,000. I was like, I know American women who have insurance and their bill out of pocket at the end is $10,000. So I felt like I totally won. There. I'm really happy my daughter can go back and become an Australian citizen, which I love that, because I feel like, especially with her health condition now, she may need to go back and have that health coverage. She might need to. That might need to be an option for her. All right. Trump announces 10% global tariff following the SCOTUS ruling. The U.S. Supreme Court ruled on Friday that Trump could not use his national emergency powers to levy tariffs. I can't even believe this. President Donald Trump has fought back, though, with a 10% global tariff on Friday following the Supreme Court ruling, striking down his authority to levy tariffs under the International Emergency Economic Powers Act. Trump was critical of the Supreme Court's decision, calling the decision ridiculous at Friday's press conference, and said that he will levy tariffs under a different legal method, including the Trade Expansions Act of 1962 and the Trade Act of 1974. So, Trump, effective immediately, all national security tariffs under Section 232 and Section 301 of tariffs remain fully in place. And in full force, effective today, I will sign an order to impose a 10% global tariff under Section 122 over and above our normal tariffs already being charged. Boom, shakalaka. He hit him hard. He hit him hard. And I love this, okay? If you guys caught my piece, my short, that YouTube banned because of what I was talking about, I was talking about the fact that Obama's counsel stepped down to go to work for Epstein. This, what we're seeing right now, is Trump's counsel directing him in a way that even though you have been struck down, there is this and this. And I'm just surprised in general because we have charged tariffs. And in our time as a country, tariffs have happened. We came to the decision for it to be a free and open market, but times have changed and we're allowed to decide if things need to change. So I'm like super pumped. I'm super pumped to see this because they were trying to say we were going to have to refund billions, and they were saying that they were going to essentially refund the taxpayers as a stimulus, and not even a stimulus that was because the government printed the money. It wasn't going to cause inflation. It was money already set aside from the tariffs that were already paid. Us, the consumers, already paid for these goods that came from abroad under these tariffs. That is our money. They always want to take our money, though. It makes me mad. Makes me mad. All right. Moving on. All right. What's next for XRP as volatility sinks to 2024 lows? Technical traders see a compression set up with the 139 as key support and 144 as near-term resistance that could open a move forward towards $1.50 to $1.62 if reclaimed. So good stuff for XRP. As you guys know, it's still sitting around $1.40 as we just saw on the charts. So it is starting to consolidate, and the market as a whole seems to be in a consolidation phase. Now it's just whether that consolidation phase will be another move to the bottom and we go down to test a new level, potentially to the 50K range on Bitcoin or not. So XRP has declined roughly 61% from its all-time high during the current stretch of market turbulence, but recent price action suggests the sell-off may be slowing. Losses have moderated into consolidation with smart gains across shorter time frames, replacing the sharp directional moves. So this is a good thing for XRP holders. I wanted to give XRP a little shout out in today's segment, because I don't shout out XRP enough. So I added them into my little favorites for you, Mike Bulmer. All right, moving on. I like this story, or I don't like this story. Let's talk about it. Dutch authorities call on Polymarket arm to cease activities as of 37 minutes ago. Prediction Markets Dutch arm Adventure One allegedly offered illegal bets, including elections in the Netherlands. So the Netherlands Gambling Authority said that it imposed penalties on its prediction market platform Polymarket's Dutch arm Adventure One for offering gambling to residents without a license. In a Tuesday notice, Dutch authorities ordered Polymarket company to cease activities immediately or face up to a almost $1 million fine. According to authorities, Adventure One was in violation of Dutch law for offering illegal bets, including those on local elections, and the company had not responded to requests to address these activities. Prediction markets are on the rise, including in the Netherlands, and said the Netherlands Gambling Authority, Director of Licensing. So these types of companies are offering bets that are not permitted in our market under any circumstance or even by any license holder. I think this is going to start to see things happening. I think we're going to start to see more restrictions put on this. I don't even know how this became something that was so common that, like, last market cycle, we would have called this hyper gambling and we would have not been about it. We would have not been about it. We would have been, the people who do live streaming or are influencers or push this type of hyper gambling, it used to be looked down upon because it didn't teach good, healthy financial responsibility. And so I don't know. I think we're going to start to see something move in on this. Now, as you guys know, with Polymarket is supposedly supposed to have like a deal with X to be integrated with the betting integrated into X. Now, if it does that, that will be the first major social media platform to integrate that. Not only that, but now I'm laughing, Mike. You hit Joxie with Brian's emoji again. With the way that the market is right now, is I feel like we need to be teaching people the importance of being healthy with their finances. Look, we are potentially hitting a bottom. We could potentially, people are saying, oh, we could go to 30. I don't know that 30 is going to happen because the last bear market, it was a global pandemic. We didn't know how many people were going to die, how long things would be shut down for, what was going to happen for the long term. Like, things were so unknown for a long duration of time. Right now, I feel like people just don't really know day to day where the market is going. It could go up, it could go down. Some days it's good news, some days it's bad news. But ultimately, we're able to kind of mitigate what's going on. There's not a lot of major fear. And I just hate the games that are being played. Like Trump with the tariffs, the money's set aside. It's set there for people like you and me. It's set there to infuse thousands of dollars per person, per recipient into the market. That would allow people to pay off credit card debt, potentially make some investments. So it would be healthy for the market overall. And it's just not happening. And I just can't believe that Biden was able to print and print and print and could just do anything. And it just hasn't, it has not been the same type of allowances that have been given. And we're entering the second year of Trump's term. We're going to start to enter year 3. But once we enter year 3, then it starts to look at, who the next president is. And the news starts to overtake what's being done with what the next person's going to bring. It starts to become manipulation on both sides. So who are the people who are going to be coming up next, top contenders for president? I mean, I'm pretty sure it's going to be Vance, and I'm pretty sure it's going to be Newsom, potentially some others, but they're the ones that I see as 1 and 2. I mean, maybe Rubio goes in there, but I don't think Rubio's going to do that. I don't know. I think Vance probably has a better chance. But on the left, there really isn't anyone fresh bringing anything new. And look at what Newsom has done to California. Just now, like, he's on his way out. And because he knows he's running for office, he's allowing oil production to resume. Oil production was the leading job supplier of the people that live here. Like, we produce the oil here in LA. Think about in Santa Barbara. Okay, Santa Barbara is beautiful. Have you guys been to Santa Barbara? It's gorgeous. You look off into the distance, there's the offshore drilling rigs, which they don't look pretty, right? They don't look pretty when you see them off into the distance, but they're there. They're not pumping like they used to. So you know what happens since they don't pump anymore? The oil seeps up through the beach. So my favorite beach in Santa Barbara, the last time I went there, the oil was stuck to my feet, like so much so that like even when I got home, I took a shower and the oil was in the bottom of my shower. Like if I lived in Santa Barbara and I couldn't walk on the beach without bringing oil home on my feet, I would be like, why are we not pumping this? Why am I paying $5 a gallon? We're pumping it right here. Like somebody had posted the map of all of the oil in the United States. We have huge reserves. California is a unique geography because of the tectonic plates, and the geography creates pockets. In Texas, in North Dakota, the shell formations are massive. You tap into it and the oil is there because it's just flat land. So it's super easy. But you can produce here. There were refineries here. My brother worked on a refinery here. So I don't know. Any of the positive changes that are going to come from that are going to take time, though, because it's been a 10-year moratorium on fracking. So you couldn't frack any new wells. You couldn't produce. Hello, derps. Welcome. So it made it really hard. It made it really hard for people to do business because if a well ran dry, you couldn't frack it again. So you could just pump until the tap stopped and that was it. You couldn't frack because they said that causes earthquakes. It's not what's happening at the core of the earth. It's not the things that the sun is hitting the earth with. I mean, there's like all of these other variations that could cause earthquakes, or known to cause earthquakes. And when you actually look at studies of fracking and how deep the geography of the earth is, for the earth and where the slip in the mantle comes from, it's not from the shell formation. That's like the skin versus like a deeper part of like your muscle. You know, it's like this way different. So, but people don't know that, and they don't do research on it. And like I grew up in a town where they did oil production, and I didn't want to do it because it just seemed old and outdated. It seemed old and outdated, and it wasn't exciting for me. But then solar came out, and solar was cool, and it was trendy, and there were apps, and it was so like new age. Well, that was because it was highly funded, highly pushed up. And solar is good. I'm a proponent of solar. You guys know that. I have to do a solar talk. Yeah. Yes, we're getting into earth science now. That's how bad the bear market hasn't even been that bad. The bear market hasn't even been that bad. I took profits. I did things. That's the whole important thing. Look, if we head to the bottom, we survive another bear market, and the most money is made at the bottom. So that's why it's exciting. That's why it's a party for me. It's not, it can be scary, but it's all in how you frame it. And everybody will tell you that the most money is made from the bottom. Good girl, Julie. That's right. I gotta represent. Always take profits. And don't forget those 1099 DA forms. A whole $2 on Cash App, you guys. A whole $2 on Cash App. And I am going to, every 1099 DA form I get, I'm gonna put them in there. If you want to audit me, I am gonna give you the biggest box of papers of all of my transactions, and you get to decide. But you also need to see how much money I have lost, because I have also lost a lot of money. So, and if you guys do need a good crypto tax attorney who represents the traders, the crypto enthusiast, if you are a crypto company, he will represent you. He is also part of a crypto super PAC. And so if you find yourself in a situation where you get audited, you need to find a good attorney who knows how to handle that. And a good attorney will make sure that they're on your side and being a proponent for you. Because just because you get audited, number one, you don't want to be audited. You need to take a tax position so that you prevent being audited. If you do find yourself being audited, there are good tax attorneys, and they are on this channel. and I can put you in touch with him, but there is an interview from the Bitcoin conference last year. And he says exactly the things that you can do, the ways you can save money, the losses that you can use to apply against any earnings. And so you don't have to be scared. It doesn't have to be a scary thing. And ultimately, we know what's going to happen. The Clarity Act is going to be approved. It's going to be approved. They want it. They want it big time. And even Coinbase, and I believe it was someone from another side of like the TradFi who said it would still be a couple of months because they're trying to iron it out. They're trying to figure out how everyone can be on a level playing field. Because at this point, Brian Armstrong, he's kind of got the cards in his favor. He is getting the right people on his team. He's getting the right people to represent and support government action. He's building a team across every state in the country. He's trying to get a certain number of people pledging through Stand With Crypto. They're at ETH Denver right now. And he has to get the banks on a level playing field. Because right now the banks don't feel, they don't think it's fair. They don't like it. So, but they're going to have to, I think, come to an agreement on the stablecoin yield. And the banks will have to, if they want to participate in crypto, they'll have to do it. So it's going to happen. But look, it might be priced in. It could be priced in. We could go a little lower. It could go lower. But I am prepared. I am prepared. It's just when I get to this position where I feel like the bottom is nearing, I start to get anxious because then I'm like, I need all of my liquidity ready. And then where am I deploying that liquidity? Because now it's like there's obviously a ton of options. Right now, the market has not had a huge influx of new coins, new projects, a lot of anything spawning. Maybe a few AI agents, but you know, that's here nor there. I just feel like you need to be ready. You need to be ready. And when the move happens, the move will happen fast. And then you have to remember to take your profits. So deploy into BTC only. Those are wise words. Those are wise words. I did want, when I ended this bull market, I said I want Bitcoin to be my biggest holding. Bitcoin is my biggest holding. I did it. So I can't be mad. I can't be mad because did I walk away with as many profits to start this cycle as I would have liked? No. But I did great. I took a ton of profits along the way. I took some losses along the way. It happens. We do these things. So, but that is the show for today, you guys. I have been jabbering for 45 minutes by myself. When I first started the show, I never would have thought I could talk for 45 minutes or an hour by myself. But you guys are here keeping me company. So shout out to you. Thank you, Po Man. Thank you, Blocky. I'm still saying Blocky. He's going to have a baby. He's going to have a baby. That sounds wrong. You guys, did you hear in Randy Hipper's show? I almost died earlier this week. Okay. She said, Julie, I saw stuff was happening. I hope you're okay. And then in the same breath, she reads a comment about adrenochrome, and it literally made it sound like Julie drinks adrenochrome. And I thought, all right, I'm just going to die now. But I love her to pieces. I love her giving me the shout out. I love you all for tuning in. You guys, I will be back next week and I will have a Market Cipher QR code. So if you want to trade with Market Cipher, if you want their very intuitive tools to use with TradingView, it will help you, enable you to make the wisest decisions with your trades. And let me tell you, I could not be more excited to start the next bull run with the Market Cipher for tools. So shout out to them. Shout out to Gokhshtein News Network, as always, for holding down the show. And we look forward to seeing you on the next one. We will be back on Monday at 1 o'clock Pacific time. Don't forget to smash the subscribe if you are new here, and we will see you all on the next one. Bye-bye.